have here Matt Ferguson from Sønr. So Matt, I'm going to ask you a few questions. So the first one is, how do you see traditional insurance companies adapting to the rise of insurtech startups and innovations within the industry?
That is a really good question, and fortunately something we do a fair amount of, so hopefully I can give you a credible answer. I also think it's really interesting being here at ITC Asia, and some of our customers here are probably representative of the broader trend that we're seeing, where there's always been activity, there's always been interest, but we're seeing an increasing amount of rigor around this activity. So moving from a reactive, relying on inbound interest, people knocking on the door and serendipity playing a role in meeting people. Of course, that's important, but switching that to being really proactive about scanning the market for the best technology providers aligned directly to their use cases. And we're seeing that in two ways. One, for stimulus about, hey, what if we could deploy a service like this, or what if we could deliver an experience like that? Really important to get the organization thinking. But then, of course, there's the executional component as well. And look, I have a specific opportunity or a specific problem in my business. I need technology to help me, or technology plays a role in solving that problem. So how can I get out there and find those providers? And I think then it's about reducing the time to value from those relationships. Of course, money is always a factor in making decisions about procuring technology, but actually resources is really finite in these organizations, often quite lean. And so how can you reduce the time it takes you to go from identifying an amazing partner to actually proving that they have value for your business? And it's less about fail fast, it's more about continue with confidence. It's like, how can I go through a process that helps me understand whether this is the right company, and make a decision, yes, proceed, or no, don't. The quicker you do that, the better for everyone.
Thanks so much, Matt, for sharing that. And also, I want to move and ask you, with the increasing emphasis on data analytics and AI, how do you think these technologies are transforming insurance processes and customer experiences?
Yeah, that's a good one as well, right? I think first thing to say is it's not necessarily, these aren't new concepts. There's been a lot of technology out there for a long time. I'm going to try desperately not to say generative AI. AI has been used by businesses for a long time in various different forms. But I think it's the relative sophistication of that, and much more focus, of course, on external providers who have specialist capability. I mean, you've got a room full of people here, right? We do a number of reports through the year, and we find that AI is almost becoming ubiquitous in its usage. So external providers, real focus, specialism on using technologies, including generative AI, will play a role, no doubt. But I think also insurance companies have vast amounts of data at their disposal themselves. And so it's about the application of those technologies within their existing data sets. It doesn't always have to be about bringing in new sources. So I think it's already making changes, but that will continue.
Yeah, no, totally. And thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on that as well. And finally, just wanted to ask quickly, what challenges do you foresee for insurtech companies in gaining market traction and ensuring regulatory compliance?
Yeah, okay. Staying in business, probably the first one. Make a load of money. Everyone knows the rhetoric around the insurtech market, and it's like, depending on your perspective, it's really bad. But for me, we're seeing probably a more healthy and objective perspective on the insurtech market. The hype of 2021 has subsided. Actually, you're seeing relatively linear growth between 2014 and 2024, so it's not going away. There is growth, but we had a big spike or a big bubble, depending on your perspective. But there are fundamental challenges within the insurance sector that are still not fully resolved. And I think the fact that you've got some insurers here, kind of testament to the fact that they are interested, they are actively looking And we see that reflected in our own customers too. I think as ever, it's about their ability to solve real problems for insurers, and their ability to partner effectively, prove value as quickly as possible, and hopefully they can scale as a result. We know capital is difficult to come by unless you have a really solid foundation. Can you prove your unit economics? Can you prove you've got market traction? Or there's at least a real problem to solve, build a sustainable business around. So I think that's what we need through.
Okay, thank you so much, Matt. And for your time as well. I really appreciated your answers. And again, this was Matt.